Gee, Steve, what are we going to do tonight?
Same thing we do every podcast. Tell him how we sees it.
It's never been done before, so I need planning and a large crew.
Guns?
Not exactly. There's a lot of security, but the take.
What's the target?
8 figures each.
What's the target?
When was the last time you were in Vegas?
What? You want to knock over a casino? Oof. Well, if I'm reading this right, and I'd like to think that I am, this is probably the least accessible vault ever designed.
Yep.
You said 3 casinos?
These feed into the cages at the Mirage, the MGM Grand, but every dime ends up there.
Okay, the Bellagio, the Mirage. These are Terry Benedict's places.
Yes, they are. You think you'll mind?
More than somewhat. You'd need at least a dozen guys doing a combination of cons.
What do you think?
Well, off the top of my head, I'd say you're looking at a Boski, a Jim Brown, a Miss Daisy, 2 Jethros, and Leon Spinks. Not to mention the biggest Ella Fitzgerald ever. Do you think you're gonna get the money to back this?
If we're hitting these 3 casinos, we'll get our bankroll. Benedict's got a long list of enemies.
Yeah, but enemies with loose cash and nothing to lose. Reuben.
Reuben. What?
I need a reason. Don't say money. Why do this?
Why not do it? Because yesterday I walked out of the joint after losing 4 years of my life, and you're cold-decking teen beat cover boys. Because the house always wins. You play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house.
Been practicing that speech, haven't you?
A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed it.
That was good. I liked it.
Here we go. It's How We Sees It, episode 301. This week, we're coming to you with Ocean's 11 from 2001. This is a remake of a 1960s Brat Pack film that I don't think it really impressed a lot of people. I think
You mean the
remake
original?
You
mean the original?
The original, yes.
Oh,
the original.
It's the Rat Pack, not the Brat Pack. I thought you said Brat Pack.
No, I said Rat.
Oh,
I said Rat.
It sounded like a Brat.
No, the Brat Pack is that's the Molly Ringwald and those.
Yeah,
and those
sure.
guys.
Yeah. I got you.
Which is, I was going to bring this up. I'll bring it up now since we're talking about it. Do you think this would be, and what would we call him? I mean, what is the early 2000s version of that Brat Pack or Rat Pack or Fat Pack or whoever you want to call him?
Yeah.
Would it be Clooney? Would it be
Rat Point 2 pack? I don't know. It's kind of
Yeah.
Rat Point 2?
I mean, they got some of the people in this. I mean, you got Clooney, you got Julia Roberts. I mean, she's not one of the guys. Brad Pitt,
Matt Damon, yeah.
Matt Damon, yeah, he's in there. I might throw in that era, maybe not now. You could throw Ben Affleck in there, maybe, or
I was just curious, though. That was such a big thing in there. Now, granted, there wasn't as many celebrities as there are now, and it wasn't all just about movies. There were a lot of them were singers, like stage performers and stuff too. They did more than just acting. It just was one of those things that came up in my mind. Is like, do we have an equivalent of that anymore? And I don't think we really do. I don't know if we could ever. I don't know if there's enough to sustain it.
I know you mentioned that we're covering this movie, but just to point out to our listeners, this is the MCU crew, and we're actually going to be covering this series as kind of our next series to cover. So that's just kind of a little highlight of things to come.
Yeah, this is one of those. It wasn't a plan to do extras, but when you got done with this and it really hit off and people were loving it, they did an Ocean's 12, 13, and then came back with an Ocean's 8. Which I found out this weekend. We celebrated one of my niece's birthday parties. We all went camping. and I was talking to one of my other nieces, and found out she really likes the Ocean's 8 movie. She was like super excited about it. So I'm actually excited to do that one and talk to her about it in general, just to get her take on it. You know,
Nice.
young girl,
Actually,
she's teenage.
I'll tell you this: it's one of Claire's favorite movies too.
That's nice.
Interesting. Okay.
Do we think
I've never seen it.
was it 8 so that it could be the sequel would be 9 and the trilogy would be 10? You know, with that in mind.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Maybe.
I don't know why.
I think they might have had that in mind.
Yeah, whether that'll
Yeah.
happen.
It's a good point. I hadn't even thought of that.
Or they just couldn't find 14 women that they could put in a movie altogether, so they had to drop it lower. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen. I don't even remember seeing 13. So, which is good.
Nice. Yeah.
That really doesn't want me to watch it anymore. But
Well, he plays the Andy Garcia character. He's kind of the villain.
13 was better than 12. I'll put it that way.
Yes, I
He
agree.
plays, he plays the villain. He plays the villain. And
Okay.
yeah, Al Pacino plays the villain, and Andy Garcia plays not a villain, but not a hero.
Yeah, he
plays
returns
in the
in
middle.
13. That's true. Yeah. Right.
so I did hear that, and I did hear 13 is better than 12. So when we get to it, we'll cover that. But now we're going to talk about 11. But before we can get into 11, we got to get into our cocktails, because that's what we do here on How We Sees It. And we're going to start a little late, so I wanted to get into our cocktails before they're all melted and warm.
Oh, I drink mine.
So,
I drank mine.
I haven't drinking mine yet. I've waited. I've been drinking my backup drink, so I still got something going. But we're going to get into them. I'll let you go, Bo.
All right. Well, we talked before the podcast. I have had a couple of busy weeks and a lot of stuff going on, and not just like stupid work stuff, but like life stuff and everything. So it's just been a couple of hectic weeks, and so I misread the text, thinking that we were supposed to watch the 1960 version and not the 2001 version. Now, you will not notice so much of that because I've probably seen the 2000s version 30 times. So I probably quote along with it as it's being played. And I have it on in the background to refresh my memory a little bit. But so the 1960s version, the Rat Pack, there's a lot of drinking in that movie. And one of the things that they drink all the time is they'll just pick up a highball glass and pick up a whiskey bottle and like fill it halfway up with whiskey with no ice or anything and all that, and just start drinking. So knowing what I know about the guys in the Rat Pack, it was probably real liquor.
Yeah.
They were probably drinking on set, and they were probably drunk most of the time. But
That's funny.
so I did a little research and found out in the 60s, Frank Sinatra was a spokesperson for Jack Daniels. So I made what I'm calling the Frank, and it's basically a highball glass half filled with Jack Daniels. So let's see how this tastes.
Yeah.
Delicious. That is a perfect drink right there. So, and then for my beer, I have to go to work after this podcast. So, I'm introducing something that doesn't really tie into the movie, but something I've been drinking a lot of lately. And I think, I don't know, maybe you guys would give it a shot. It's a Petaluma product. It's made by Lagunitas. It's called Hoppy Refresher. And basically it's a hop flavored LaCroix, and it is very refreshing, and it has the hop flavor and the hop smell and all that kind of stuff. And it is, it's really good. I drink them all the time. Like, I don't even drink LaCroix anymore. I drink those instead. So
Interesting.
Yeah, give them a shot. They have plain, and then they have some like lightly flavored ones and everything and all that. But yeah, if you guys see them, maybe
there's
give it a
no
shot.
alcohol in them.
No, they're just like a LaCroix.
Oh.
No alcohol.
It's just hop flavored carbonated water.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
gluten free, no gluten. The label says no gluten, no alcohol, no calories, no
No
carbs.
fun.
Well, you know, when you start off the night with a Jack Daniels.
No, I get you. I've seen a lot of those, and I just have never pulled the trigger on them because I'm going to drink that. I kind of want the beer. So
Yeah,
but,
they're not bad.
know.
They're not beer. They're not like it's not like an NA beer. The NA beers to me are they're not as good. They're just not. I mean, I've had a few of those too. Trying to cut back on my drinking in general, so like that helps. But yeah, definitely like the hoppy refreshers over the NA beers that are out there.
Gotcha.
And they're also less. I mean, an NA beer has just as many calories as a regular beer, so it also helps with the waistline. Keep my
There you go.
keep my
Your
girlish
girly
figure.
figure.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Well, that's it.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to jump in and talk about mine real quick, just because I see Nina's got something going on real quick. Mine is movie adjacent, and it might only be movie adjacent to me because when I was thinking about this, I started going through this. This is a heist movie. And every time I said heist, it made me think of a Dane Cook
Yep.
comedy act. And I just couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I started thinking, I'm like, you know what? I started playing it at work a couple times, and I'm like, I have to do it. So my drink is called Heist Monkey. And this is based off of his routine from his 2005 stand-up comedy Retaliation. And
Which is classic
we used to listen.
Dane Cook. Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is so funny. It's all about, it starts off with a girl says, guys only want one thing, and he's like, no, that's totally wrong. Shut up and keep blowing me. And it starts off. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. He's like, but what guys really want is to be part of a heist. And he goes on through this whole thing with it, and then he goes, but what guys really want is to have a monkey. And he goes on about having this monkey, and he goes, now how cool would it be if the driver for the heist is the monkey?
Getaway driver,
And he's
right?
like, get in, we gotta get going. And it's so funny, and it's just a hilarious thing. So I made a drink called a Heist Monkey. And so it starts off with 2 ounces of a Monkey Shoulders blended scotch, which I heard is really good for mixing drinks. So I was like, okay, now what do I want to do with this? And I went through a couple different things, and I actually went to the Monkey Shoulder website to see what drinks they had. And one of the ones they had actually had something with ginger ale. And I'm like, okay, I'll go with that, but I got to have something extra with it. I was going back and forth, and I finally came up with, I wanted to do this. I did 2 ounces of the Monkey Shoulders, 1 ounce of Campari, just because I think it'll add some good flavor to it. And then 1 ounce of pineapple juice. And I thought, oh, that's going to be really good. Then with the 4 ounces of the ginger ale and an orange slice as the garnish. And so I haven't had it yet, so let's see what it tastes like. Oh, that's actually really good.
Oh, good.
It's got the scotch has a smokiness to it a little bit, and that comes through. The Campari gives it a little bit of a kind of a citrusy to help with that's carry that scotch, and then the pineapple and ginger ale really help dilute it down so it's not just a straight scotch drink. But now I could see this being a good summer, like warm day kind of drink. So
Nice.
that is my
Sounds
monkey
good.
heist.
Sounds like it'd be up my alley. So
Yeah, I like that a lot. All right, Nina, what do you got for us?
So I apologize. I haven't eaten since since I got home from work at 2, so I'm starving. To my time, which is 8 hours, almost 9 hours ago. So I'm starving, but that's why I turned off the microphone. Anyway, so most of this movie takes place in Las Vegas. And I'm like, is there a cocktail called the Las Vegas? Yes. Yes, there is. It's an interesting combination. It's equal parts whiskey, white vermouth, Coca-Cola, and lemonade. So let's give it a try.
That doesn't sound too bad. Pretty easy to make too.
Yeah, it's easy to make. It's okay. It's not knocking my socks off, but it's okay.
It's kind of like Vegas is just there sometimes.
Yeah, Vegas doesn't knock my socks off, but no. Actually, I have been to Vegas a couple of times, and it is a fun town. I'll tell you this: I've been to Las Vegas and Reno just has casinos, and is very boring and depressing.
unless you like to
Vegas,
unless you really like to gamble.
unless you really like to gamble. But Vegas has so much going on all the time, you don't have to gamble. So it's like, if you don't have a lot of money or you lose, you can, easily find a cool bar or a cool restaurant or a show or just crazy stuff going on out in the street. So
Definitely that. People watching Supreme Time, that is one of the things
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I do. I don't gamble when I'm there, but I've been going once a year at least, and yeah, do a lot of people watching because there's a lot of people watching to have. So
Yeah. Yeah.
nice. All right, Steve, bring the thunder.
Well, first off, you mentioned Vegas, and since you just got me thinking about it. About 10 years ago, I wrote a song about Las Vegas. So if you stick around to the end of the podcast, I think I'm just going to tack it on to the end. You can listen to my song. It's not a bad song. It's kind of a fun song. So it's an it's an original, and so I'll tack it on the end of the podcast. So all you listeners out there will get a little bit of a insight into my psyche when it comes to singing and music making. Also, before I get into my cocktail, I just got to mention, this has nothing to do with the cocktail I created, but when I was going out to get a bourbon, because, you know, you got to get a whiskey bourbon for a cocktail like this, I was just going to grab I was actually going to grab a little mini bar or a little mini bottle because that's kind of the theme of mine. But I saw on the shelf there was one called Jefferson's Oceans Aged at Sea. And I thought, oh, damn, I got to get that. So check it out. Ocean Aged at Sea. It's a bourbon whiskey. So that's just a little treat. I don't mention it in the ingredients, but you'll see it in the picture standing out kind of boldly like Danny Ocean does. So the cocktail that I created, I called the Soothing Taupe. And so it's based off a couple lines from the movie. This is a movie that, you know, it's got a big heist, and that's great. But to me, the real joy of it is kind of the really obscure character stuff, the stuff that you kind of turn your head and go, what's he talking about? And why did they throw that in there? There's two lines I'm going to reference. One is when Danny and Rusty are looking at some video monitor of the hotel hallways, and I think it's Danny that says, "Why are the hallways always that color?" And Rusty says, they say taupe is very soothing, you know. So, yeah. And then there's another line when Rusty's on the phone with Andy. I can't remember the
Garcia.
guy. Yeah, Andy Garcia's, and he says, "I have two words for you: mini bar." Again, a reference that's kind of like, what the hell are you talking about? But I used these two to create my cocktail. So again, I called it the Soothing Taupe, and I rated my mini bar to find ingredients that when you put them all together, they come out in a taupe color. So this is a bottle of bourbon, a bottle of coffee liqueur, a bottle of Irish cream, and a little mini addition of Amaro. You mix them all together, and they come out taupe colored.
Nice.
I tried to create two little ice cubes that looked like I froze some cherries in two ice cubes to try to make them look like dice. They didn't turn out very well. You'll see some discolored ice cubes floating in there. That's what the idea is there. And then as a nod to Rusty, I put a half-eaten cheeseburger right next to the cocktail, just because Brad Pitt is always eating in every scene, and that just seemed like a staple. So, and then I of course, you'll see all the little mini bottles that are there, and if you count up all the bottles, there's 11 of them, and that's just a. Nice. I didn't use all 11 as ingredients, but that's just a little bonus Easter egg for my picture if you check it out. So again, the Soothing Taupe.
Sorry, Steve, where'd you say you got? Oh,
I already drank it too, so now I'm just nursing some extra ocean aged at sea bourbon while we continue the podcast.
Okay. Did you say? Sorry, Steve, I missed it. Where did you say where you got the burger from?
I did not say. And in the movie, everything is all kind of, you know, he's got some
it's all generic
nachos and stuff. Yeah. So what I did
Shrimp
is
cocktail,
I actually picked it up at Jack in the Box, and I turned the wrapper inside out so you couldn't.
Yeah. I used to Jack in the Box used to be, back when I had a higher metabolism, used to be my jam, and I'd get right before every hockey game, I'd swing by, get a jumbo jack with cheese, and order of fries. And
this is a jumbo jack with cheese. This is exactly that. Yeah. I have not had Jack in the Box for probably 10 years, but it happened to be on the way back from Bottle Barn after I bought the bourbon. So it just was like, I'm going to swing by here and grab my burger so that I have it. And the dogs were very happy because they helped me eat the rest of it, because I wasn't. Again, I agree. My metabolism is not that great when it comes to fast food.
And God bless you for your dogs being able to eat that kind of stuff, because if my dog ate that, I'd be follow him around with a hose for about the next 3 days.
Yeah, we have a ceremony when they get people food, or at least, yeah, we have. It's like, okay, they have to go over to their bowls, and we have to have them sit side. It's kind of a nice little ceremony,
Sure.
just so it's not like
Pretty
they're
funny.
taking handouts at the dinner table, because I don't like that. But anyway, that was fun.
Yes. So that is a big part of this movie with Brad Pitt's character always eating. And apparently this is something that he does in a lot of his movies.
Right. It's not just this one, but this one he does it in spades.
I think this is the one that really kind of just set, because in almost every scene he's got something. I think they counted, there's like 8 different scenes where he's eating something in this one.
Not only that, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bo.
I was saying, tons of movies he does the same thing. Like it's not just this movie. People have like looked at other movies of his and found that he does.
But I think this is the one that really is
more
over
than
the top.
average, probably.
Apparently, the last scene at the prison, when he's picking up Danny at the very end, the crew added a little hot sauce to his burger, and so when he takes the first bite and he kind of reacts a little bit, that was that was why.
Interesting. Pretty good.
So there's also the scene where they first introduce Julia Roberts' character Tess.
Yeah.
And he's eating a shrimp cocktail, and he's eating some of the biggest goddamn shrimp I've ever seen.
Hey man,
they look like Andre the Giant fingers. They're fucking huge. Which I was like, yeah, I'm all for that because I like a big shrimp like that. But apparently he's not a spitter, right? So he eats the food when he's doing this. He ate at least 40 shrimp, they're saying, during the filming of that scene because of how many times they had to film it. And I'm like, that's hilarious. But also, yeah, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
So I almost went with a shrimp cocktail just because of that scene. I thought that was kind of one of my front runners for my cocktail until I came up with my monkey heist.
Nice.
So
well, hey,
no,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say,
I was just going to start.
Yeah. I was saying I was going to make a suggestion. Why don't I give a quick synopsis of the 1960s version, and then we can get into the 2000s version.
That's great. I think you're the only one on the podcast that watched it. Unless Nina, did you watch it?
Have you ever seen it?
I didn't.
Yeah. Good. Appreciate
So,
it.
Lay it on us there.
Was it 2000 or 2001?
2001.
2001.
December.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So that's interesting. 2001 December. That would have been like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about 9/11.
Pearl Harbor Day.
It was just
Pearl Harbor Day. Right?
Well, there's a thing behind that. There's actually a thing behind that too
Well, we'll
that
get later,
affected this movie.
Yep. All right. So anyway, watching the 1960s version. So first of all, it starts out with the corny opening for a typical, like the graphics are terrible for their opening credits. It's just like a total, 1960s as you would expect and all that. And then it hops right into it with kind of introducing the characters and getting to know everybody. And, but probably 80 to 85% of the movie has nothing to do with the actual heist. Whereas like this one, it's like, we're planning the heist. We're getting the van. We're like getting the people together. We're doing all this. Like they just all meet. It's like Danny Ocean sent him a letter or a telegram.
Yeah.
And, he gets them all together and they all get together and they talk about it. And all the characters, the interesting thing, you can kind of like see which characters kind of match up with which other characters. And, there's some really great funny lines when they're setting up when they're talking about robbing. They robbed 5 casinos and they were all in a row. And the way they were going to rob them is they were going to black out the city. When they black out the city, when the power comes back on, they had one of the guys as an electrician. He rewired it so instead of turning on the lights, it opened all the
safes.
All the money room doors in the safe so they could go in and get it. And then they snuck it out the back and threw it in the trash. And Sammy Davis Jr. was a trash man. After they were all army buddies. And so he's a trash man. So after they get out of the, after he gets out of the army, he's like, I just like to set my own schedule. It's whatever. And so I'm going to be a trash guy. And there's a lot of singing in it too, because, a bunch of the guys are singers and all that. So anyway, what they do is they steal it. They take the money. They take it to the dump. He dumps it. He digs through the trash. He gets the bags out, and it's so much less money too. It's very funny. It's like it's like so much less money. It's pretty hilarious. But so anyway, so they get found out, one of the guy's moms is super rich, and the mom marries an ex-mobster. He's like out of the racket, but he figures out who does it. He figures out it's Danny Ocean and this woman's son who's on the crew and all that kind of stuff. So he finds out, he tells them, and he's like, I want 50% of the money. And they're like, well, we're not giving you 50%. So he's like, well, then I'll turn you in and I'll get 30% because that's what the casinos agreed to give me. And you'll get nothing, kind of a thing. So they decide during the heist, one of the guys, he had health issues. He dies, has a heart attack, dies in the street in Vegas. And his wife, he's divorced, lives in San Francisco. So she has to come pick up the body. This is all around the time. This is all around the time the dude finds out. So what they do is they sneak into the funeral parlor. There's some incredibly racist stuff in that scene because they're going to sneak in and they all look like trash men. So they're putting shoe polish on their faces. and Sammy Davis Jr. is the trash guy who gives it to him. And Sammy Davis Jr. goes, Sammy Davis Jr. is like, so how do you get this to come off? Kind of a thing or something like that. And they're just like, so stupid stuff like that. So they sneak into the funeral parlor. They lift the body out of the coffin. They show the body, like silhouette of the body out of the coffin while three of the guys lift it up. And then one other person throws all the money in the bottom of the coffin. Then they put the body down back on top of it, thinking that the wife is going to take it to San Francisco. They'll go to San Francisco, meet her there, get the money, and they'll be free and clear. Well, the funeral home director, being like, a businessman is like, well, we have an American, he's an Army hero. He goes, we have an American Legion here. We could bury him here. It's just saying dirty to San Francisco. We'll bury him here and we'll get the American Legion guys to pallbearer for him. And they're like, oh, okay. So they're all sitting at the funeral, the very last scene, and they start to hear this noise. And one guy looks at another guy and they're like, what's that noise? And the guy at the end is like, works for the funeral home. And he goes, oh, that's the sound of the incinerator. They're getting him cremated. So they all start looking down the line at each other. You get to the very end of the line, and the guy sitting at the other end of the pew is the guy that came up with the idea to put it in the coffin. And he kind of turns and looks off the end of the pew as it's back to everybody while they're all looking at him. And the next scene you see is them walking out of the church, and they're walking down the street and roll the end credits. So a very different twist, and a very different way it's presented than this movie, which is kind of all about the heist. It's the planning of the heist and after all that kind of stuff and everything and why the heist is happening. Like the heist is secondary in this movie to the whole story.
I see that Mr. Roper's in the.
Mr. Roper.
He's one of the 11. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of cameos of like famous 1960s. There's a lot of cameos of famous 1960s actors, singers, and all that. Red Skelton's in it. Joey Bishop, a bunch of these guys and everything. So yeah, it's just
for our younger audiences. Sorry for the references that age us. And
also I won't even say
Red Skelton was really my parents. was really my parents' era. I mean, he was even too old for me.
Yeah. So I figure the movie's 65 years old. I'm pretty safe with the spoiler alerts because most people probably haven't even been born yet.
Right.
But one of the other very funny lines, and I'll close it on this, which really kind of cracked me up, was they're all planning the thing, and one of the guys goes, he's like, well, this is such a great plan. How come nobody else has thought about it? And Frank Sinatra, Danny Ocean goes, well, nobody's ever had the right tools. I haven't put a man on the moon yet because they don't have the right tools. And I was like, that's right. This was before people landed on the moon.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah. Anyway,
crazy.
It's a pretty good movie. And no, I think you said before we started the podcast that some people say it's terrible and some people say it's not that good. And I thought it was entertaining enough. Like I thought it was good. I like a half decent heist movie, and this is that. And the design, the architecture, the stylings, everything about it is just right in my wheelhouse.
Your point that this one doesn't, focus so much on the heist. To me, that's what makes the 2001 version so wonderful, is that, the heist, I think in the original cut, the heist was the biggest portion, but they went back and re-edited it and added a whole bunch of fluff in it. And it's that fluff that makes the movie really resonate with the character and kind of just that the nature of it is built off of that, and maybe they were kind of drawing from the original with that in mind. I saw some stuff with Steven Soderbergh where he does a lot of editing with his movies. I don't think he was the editor for this, but I'm sure he had a hand in it.
I think he was.
But he had
I think he was.
But they dealt with some feedback from viewers that said, no, this is it. It just felt a little stiff, and you add all that character in, and those were the scenes that were the best. Were the ones that, the heist was great, but it was the just those oddities between and the relationship between Brad Pitt and Danny Ocean.
So
okay,
he wasn't the editor. Okay. Steven Soderbergh wasn't. He wasn't the editor, but he was the director and cinematographer.
He was the DP. I think there's they have a DP.
Director of photography.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but he probably had someone else behind the camera doing the actual.
Yeah.
I think he kind of. They were saying that that was one of the things is he was doing both of them.
Sure, he does a lot of that.
And he has a big hand in the editing because he was an editor. Matter of fact, there's one scene. It's a scene. It's weird because it's very minimal scene. It doesn't even if it was left out, it probably wouldn't even affect the movie that much. But it's where they're delivering the little contortionist guy into the vault, and he's in the cart, right? And apparently, Steven Soderbergh spent 90 minutes arguing with himself as the director and cinematographer on how to film this.
That's funny.
He couldn't figure it out. And so what they ended up doing was he ended up filming the cart, this is the center of the attention. Yeah.
This is when when the briefcase is about to fall off. Is that what?
No. This is when they're delivering it. When the twins are taking it to the door, and delivering it. And so that's why they show the cart, and you can hear the people talking in the background. What's going on? And I just thought that was funny because it's he's literally arguing with himself as the director and the cinematographer, kind of going back and forth, this. And I was like, well,
it's a little Smeagol Golem action, yeah.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's perfect. That's exactly what it was. But I think you're right though. This what makes this the heist itself is good. And it's fun and it sets up everything, but you're right. It's all the little stuff that happens in between it, the people, the interactions. The George Clooney as Danny Ocean and Brad Pitt as Rusty Ryan. The two of them together in a scene, and a lot of the scenes when they're together, they're actually in the scene they're literally it's not cut back and forth.
Sure, it's a two-shot because they had chemistry.
Two-shot, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what part of what really makes this tick. And then the other actors really help bring this along. Matt Damon as Linus was great. Bernie Mac to me was...
Mac fucking killed it.
Yeah,
he was underutilized.
He doesn't have much going on, but man, just those expressions, just that one shot where he's staring out of the taxi with that smile, or the handshake, and
the scene where
he's buying.
The scene where he gets pulled off the floor.
Yeah,
the scene where he gets pulled off the floor in the back room, and he calls him a cracker. And he's and they're like, oh my gosh.
I like when he's talking about the moisturizer on the handshake. That's hilarious.
Yeah, one real quick comment. Though about it, I think the difference is the heist might be the same amount of time or whatever and all that. The focus, I think the plot on the 2001 focuses more on how the heist is going to happen. It has the character interactions and all that kind of stuff, but it's how the heist is going on. The 1960 version focuses on the characters with the heist being kind of the sort of secondary part.
Gotcha.
So it's the interaction between the mother and the kid on the one, the guy that's sick, all that kind of stuff and everything. So it's just kind of a different way of telling the story, I think, is what it is. So
yeah,
less action though. This has a lot more action, I think.
It does, to some degree. And I think we got a good group of people where everybody gets a little. I mean, definitely George Clooney and Brad Pitt are the main emphasis of it. But we got the Mallory brothers by Scott Conn and Casey Affleck. so much in the background, running this, doing this, little player here. They're great.
Their introduction scene is amazing too. I love their introduction.
When they're arguing in the van and pissing off Matt Damon, and they keep doing the little jump cuts of him just like, what am I doing here? And it finally drives him out to go try to help with their other heist.
And then he almost fucks the whole thing up.
Yep.
That's an interesting scene. It's almost it's one of those ones where I was like, what? What? It doesn't even make sense. But you were talking about the introduction with the little monster truck and the big monster.
And the big monster truck. That's great. That introduction is amazing.
The back and forth between them. He goes, "I'm about to jump out of here and drop you like third period French." I fucking laughed out loud. I was like, "That is so funny." Those guys work so well as brothers. Elliot Gould is another one that just really is a character in this that is so fun and interesting and just has some of the best lines.
I love his wardrobe too. The whole opening scene where he's wearing, he's got the robe. He's like the dude with the
not just a robe, a silk robe.
Silk robe.
A very gaudy silk robe.
With his hairy chest kind of and gut hanging out and just like, I'm going to own this. Got his, cigar and glasses.
Well, the big gold necklace with the medallion on it,
classic. And the way he delivered his lines and how they kind of manipulated him, played him, it was great.
Yep, we had Eddie Jameson is the hacker electronics guy. Shabu Quinn is Yin, who only acting. He played the Grease Man, right? We got our Grease.
Yeah.
He's only ever been in the Ocean movies.
Oh, really?
That's all he's ever done.
Well, and he never speaks one line of English.
Oh, wrong. Where the fuck you been? He says it. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. But they all
pronounce it phonetically. That was about it.
It's like they all speak Chinese. That's the other thing. It's like they all speak.
Well, no,
Chinese.
it's really just. I think it's just the Clooney and Brad Pitt character do. But yeah, they don't subtitle it. It's great.
Yeah.
I do.
Carl Reiner.
I do have to say, I want to say one thing real quick about him. His introduction when. They're at the show. And Clooney go to Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
And Clooney goes, "So which one is it?" And Brad Pitt said, "It's the little Chinese guy." The look on Clooney's face, like, are you that fucking stupid?
I love
one of the
interactions between them.
One of the greatest reactions of all time.
Yep. Then we also have Carl Reiner as Saul, which
German Lagen. Was it? What's his name? The way he said it, he's practicing it so closely and all that.
Yeah.
Well, if you notice, it changes. It changes a little bit each time. It's like he's dialing it in.
Well, yeah, because it shows him kind of the progression of how he makes his voice. I love that.
Interesting character. Like, he's a great character in this, and they say that in the background, like they wanted all the guys to hang out together, and apparently all they really ended up doing was all hanging around Carl Reiner and just listening to his stories, which I think is great. But then we've got one of, and this was almost my other one. Don Cheadle is uncredited in this movie.
What?
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Why?
So apparently there was a problem when he was trying to get his contracts filled out. He wanted to be above the name in the movie, like Brad Pitt and
like you want to be like one of the higher up guys. Right?
Yeah, I guess where they put above the name on the poster. He wanted to be up there with Clooney and Pitt.
Above the title. He wanted to be above the title. That's what they call it.
And they said no, and he goes, "Well, then just don't put me on there at all." And so he's uncredited for this movie.
It's funny.
And people were like, "Well,
what? No, who'd he play in MCU? He's
Rhodey."
I know, but he replaced.
Yeah. He replaced.
Oh shoot! Guy from Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If you come up with his name, I'm gonna accuse him of pulling a whatever that guy's name is.
The guy that beats his wife. What's his name? Oh my gosh, he was in Empire.
That's narrowing it down.
Allegedly beats his wife.
Come on, Bo. You're the one that always texts us when we can't come up with a name.
He settled out of court for some reason.
Yeah, but that sounds kind of like something that he would do, And
I
Oh well,
I agree.
but he came back for the other two, so it's not like it rubbed him raw, or maybe he got top billing when he came back. maybe
So
maybe
you're
they
saying
made it right.
He did a Terrence Howard. He did a
Terrence Howard. There you go. Yeah, he pulled a Terrence Howard on Ocean's 11. There you go.
But he did get above the credit or above the title credits in the next two. So,
There you go. Well, they probably all did.
But also, one of the things they were saying is that they knew how bad his accent was going to be, and they were like, "No, we're just going to pull you out of this so that people don't associate that with you."
Widely recognized as the worst English accent in the history.
Well, there's Dick Van Dyke still.
I was going to say, he and Dick Van Dyke are kind of duking it out.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke just turned 100. Just throwing that out
I know.
What?
He just
Wow.
Didn't Keanu Reeves try and do one in a Dracula movie?
Oh,
No.
That might be a little bit worse.
No, he was the only American, I thought. Or my
No, I think he tries to do a British accent, and it's pretty horrible. Anyways,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be
I
a
love you,
Cockney,
man,
and the writers
I
didn't
would
do
say
it any
maybe Nick
justice.
Cage. I would think maybe Nick Cage would have a terrible accent, but maybe not Keanu Reeves. He's a little more. He seems to prepare better.
I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, I just thought that was funny. I almost did a drink called an uncredited Cockney.
Oh, nice.
So, but I just thought it was funny, and I mean, I love Don Cheadle to death.
He's in the
And so even
poster
with
of
the
Ocean's
shitty-
13 too, so he got some actual poster action in 13.
I mean, his bad accent and everything. I love the whole thing. It makes me laugh. And some of the stuff he did in this was really great. But that's our basic crew. You throw in Julia Roberts into this, which, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I was not impressed by her. I didn't think she did the movie. I mean, at the time, she was the highest paid female actor out there. One of the jokes is that Clooney sent her the script with a $20 bill attached to it. He's like,
the way I heard it is he really wanted her because she was such a big star. And she's like, it sounds like fun, but she's like, I don't think I could do it for less than 20. 20 million. So he sent her the script with the $20 bill stapled to it, and he's like, you said 20. And he's like, okay, fine.
Both George Clooney had worked with Soderbergh for Out of Sight, and then Aaron Brockovich for Julia Roberts. That was all previous. So
yes.
They all had,
and that was right before this.
Yeah,
was Aaron Brockovich.
I agree.
So
Julia Roberts. I think some of that, she doesn't fit some of that high class style. I liked her when Danny Ocean gets out of prison and she's sitting in the back seat.
Yes.
I don't mean being in the back seat. I just mean she had a little bit more vibrance or something like that. And it's like, that's the Julia Roberts I love. I mean, she just kind of shines when she has her smile. That sounds bad. It's like I'm wanting her to smile.
No, I know what you're saying.
She is so electric with her smiling. In this, she was a lot more stiff, and so it took a while to kind of get to enjoy her. Yeah,
I agree. But she was coming off of it. That was one of the big things. And then there's another joke in the credits where they're saying introducing, Julia Roberts. As Tess, kind of like it's her first movie, but at the time she was the highest paid and she had just won for Aaron Brockovich. So there was a bunch of stuff that went back and forth. Apparently the joking, the practical jokes were off the chain, like literally all, like between Clooney and Brad Pitt, they were just sending shit out on everybody and just constant. And so it got to the point Julia Roberts was afraid to go back to her trailer, and she was only there for 2 weeks. And she's like, I just can't. I know something's going to they just knew it sounds like they were having a ton of fun on this set doing this. And so I think that's what helps this movie the most is that the personalities, the interactions between them all feel so real and earned and genuine that I think that's what the joy of this movie is. Because the heist itself, if you start picking nits, there's a lot of stuff to like, ooh, that's not right. That's not going to happen.
I mean, let's face it. The heists in most heist movies are you can't think about them too hard.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
they fall
I mean,
apart.
I love the twists. I think the twists are great, but there's a couple things that I'm like, my biggest one that I was like, there's just one major hole in it for me is how did Danny Ocean, Clooney's character, get from where he's supposed to be in the room getting beat up in the top area down through the elevator, right? He does the drop down in the elevator. How does he get back up in that room? Like, I know he's not scaling that 200-foot drop elevator.
Yeah.
You know, there's just and then Saul, you ain't having Saul drop down that elevator on. That guy could barely walk.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. It was kind of funny to see him kind of like suffering, and I'm like, why do they even show that shot? Why do you just not? It's better almost that they don't show that shot, and it's like he didn't participate in that, but they did it anyway, almost to have a little fun. So
They could have just had him as the driver. So, I mean, there's a bunch of different things on that.
Here's another. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, sorry.
No, keep going. Go.
Here's another flaw that I saw. I just randomly came across it today on plot holes in movies, and they went through a whole bunch of movies, and we were talking about like Shawshank Redemption. How did he get the poster back on the wall? Like, how do you get the poster to lay flat back on the wall after he climbed through the hole? Which there's an explanation for that. You just taped the top two and you didn't tape the bottom. You left one out. But in this, they're asking, it's like, how did they get the pamphlets into the safe?
Yep. So I did hear that the idea is that the SWAT team carried those in their bags, right? Because they're carrying money out, so they carried the pamphlets in. They're the ones that set off all the explosives in there, so that makes sense. I can buy that one.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it's just, but there's like, there's nice movies.
So here's an interesting one. There was a goof in there that the amount of money that they carried. I can't remember who it was. That it's like some where is it where they have money? The gold standard. Fort Knox did a check on this, and it was the amount of money that they had would have been over 3,000 pounds. Or something like that. And so they averaged the weight out. Each person would have had to been carrying 365 pounds worth of money.
Damn,
to
that's
get
why
that
they were
money
working out. Yeah, nice.
They cut the gym scenes out. They cut the gym scenes out of the film.
Yeah.
They cut him out doing farmer carries with 120-pound dumbbells in each hand.
And Saul actually carried. He threw up 2 on his back anyways, and just carried it up. I mean, he had that old man strength.
Don't you think they probably enjoy these sort of like flaws in the movie that people point out, because this movie is more about having fun, and really, again, the heist was almost, I know it's not as secondary as in the 1960s movie that Bo's making out, but it's still, the reason this movie is so rewatchable is because of the characters, and it's like this heist goes on, it's great,
100%.
it's fun, but I mean, they're almost in on the joke, like, well, and even in, we haven't gotten to Ocean's 12, but they kind of jumped the shark in that one with some of the stuff they do. So I almost think that it's like this movie has a pass on the flaws because it's.
I do, because it was a fun, adventurous thing that they did, and you're right. I do agree with that. And yes,
but it's okay to point them out.
It was. It is. It's because it's. I mean, it's part of what makes it fun is how they get. I mean, the whole EMP, right? You know, that was funny because first off, I loved the fact that when the building was being blown up, you got Don Cheadle watching it on TV as it's falling behind him in the window.
No, that's hilarious.
It's so good.
The thing I was going to talk about that scene, though, is when Danny Ocean is the only one looking at the stage, and everybody else turns.
And Matt Damon
actually,
too. Yeah,
and Matt Damon.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see. I don't remember Matt Damon being. Okay, yeah.
He's like 4 people behind.
Oh, he is. I never noticed that.
It's almost
a great
like
scene.
It shows that he's watching Danny.
Yeah.
He's watching him watch him.
Yeah.
So this happened. It was right after 9/11, essentially a couple months after 9/11, and
it was released, but it wasn't shot, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was actually shot. Someone has it somewhere originally they were going to do New York was the one that got blown up. And it was actually it was shot and everything, and so they changed it out with this fictional hotel. and because of that. And so it makes sense and stuff like that.
New York,
It was
did it have the two towers in? Oh my
yes,
God.
it did.
Yeah.
And that's
Good call.
exactly
That's
the reason.
absolutely not something you can do a few months after 9/11.
Yeah, it was just a quick, CGI kind of flip and change and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but I think
Wait,
it's
CGI?
it was the right thing. I believe they did. They had to do that one with CGI.
Oh, interesting. 2001. That's early CGI. That's right around Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
time, so okay.
Yeah,
I was
that's
around. Okay.
because it was. It's not the greatest, but I mean, it works for what they're doing because it's in the background. It's not. It doesn't have to be super super great, but yeah, they did change that because of that, and I think that was the right call essentially. Then there's the whole EMP, which is a real thing, just not on the scale that they use it. It is actually called a pinch. But the whole them going to Berkeley to steal it and then nothing happens from that. I'm like, those guys aren't walking in. I mean, I can't even walk into my building in Healdsburg without, I couldn't walk in there and walk out with a big piece of equipment without someone knowing. And then to get all the way back to
what happens the next day? Like it's gone for a couple of days, right?
No, that's the night before. It's literally they're running back the day of. They pull up in the morning the day of.
Right, but people come to work in the morning.
Right.
Like they're not going to be like,
the
hey,
security
where'd it go?
The security guards.
Did they just give up?
That to me was the stupidest part is Matt Damon running through there and then jumping out the window and then the security. I was like this. So I mean, it's all trying
security guards in this movie. A lot of dumb security guards in this movie.
True. But it just was a weird scene, and I guess people are looking at the whole point of that scene is just so they can smash the hand of Yin, so that they can have the part later where he gets stuck, which was another thing. Like Saul didn't have to put his suitcase down into the vault to get those little gems in there. If Yin he could have just brought him in with him in the cart. Yeah. Right. I was like, and also the whole.
You're right.
Wait, but did the gems didn't have anything to do with the explosives? I'm trying to remember.
That's what he put on the wall to explode on the inside. Because you see Don Cheadle when the building comes down, he's making them.
Yeah, right. But that's why that thing had to be in there. Oh, he could have had him in his pocket or something.
He could have carried him into the cart. The other thing is they're like, and he didn't need that little 30 minutes of oxygen thing. Because the little lid just lifts up. It's not like it's sealed.
It also, there was more than just kind of planting the jewels. There was also seeing it on video, him having the heart attack or having, and
he just needed to be in that room to have the heart attack. I see them having.
I'm all about kind of picking this movie apart, but I still think it rises above this as far as what made it such a good movie.
It definitely does. No, it's a very rewatchable movie for entertainment purposes, because of the interactions of the characters.
It's almost like they were having a slumber party. Let's get a whole bunch of cast members that we all hang out with. Let's make a movie
together.
I think you're right. I think it was like Clooney is like, I'm just going to cast all my friends and we're just going to hang out in Vegas.
A boys movie.
And and shoot a couple hours a day and party the rest of the time. And
yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. I wonder, did he produce
it?
He didn't. I'm sure he produced the rest.
I want to talk about the very end scene at the Bellagio fountain.
Okay.
So, very, very interesting. This is what I heard about Steven Soderbergh. His filming style on this is he didn't want to force everything on these people. He wanted them to kind of figure it out, like let them kind of run themselves. And so in this is one of the scenes. He's like, okay, here's the deal. You guys are going to go stand in front of the fountain. I don't care who goes where, who stands where. He goes, but Rusty leaves first, and Saul leaves last.
And Danny Ocean, because Danny Ocean was picked up by the police.
Yeah, he was in jail.
Yeah.
So he goes. That's the only direction he gave him, and he basically. So they kind of figured that out on their own. Like they stood where they were going to stand, They left when they, as they felt was right. And I was like, it's just such a cool scene, that there's something real about it. And it goes to Steven's, power in this of letting the actors be the characters and letting them be this crew and be these friends and do these things. There was another scene where they were all in one of the rooms, and there was these questions about how do you shoot it, because when you got two people, if you shoot in the wrong direction, you get backwards looking things and stuff like that. And so he did the same thing. He's like, okay, guys, you guys go sit wherever you want. You guys figure it out. I'm not going to tell you where to sit and who to sit. You guys know your lines. You do your lines. You guys, I'm just going to film it from these different things and just let it play out. And it works. And it's just this interesting thing that there's such a tight knit group with these people and the way they were, because they were hanging out, listening to Carl Reiner tell his stories. And like you said, Steve, it's a sleepover, This is literally like, hey, but what if we did this, and what if we all went and did this and it worked like this? And they're almost telling that story and they're putting it to film.
You talk about the last scene. I want to talk about the first scene and this wasn't a group scene. This was just George Clooney sitting on a chair talking to the parole board. And the original cut was a kind of a standard back and forth, where they actually had a cut shot to the parole board and then a cut to him. He even had an additional line when they asked him, what are you going to do afterwards? Well, after that didn't, people were, some audiences said, that it felt rather bland and we want to get more character. Steven Soderbergh went back and he said, let's just play it all out. If you watch the scene, it's a oneer of George Clooney. Yep. It's all his reaction until the very end when they cut into a close-up when they ask him that last question. And rather than him answering, it just hangs on him and he gets a little smirk on his face. And then it cuts to the movie. What are you going to do? Which is just a whole different reimagining of how that plays out. And it sets a tone that is continued throughout the whole movie. That is my favorite aspect of this movie, is just kind of this unusual tone. It's like, let's focus more on this unusual, like, what do they have these side characters? What is it when Brad Pitt's with his poker buddies and it's
Topher Grace.
Topher, which he even calls him Topher because I think he's playing Topher. But he's like,
they are playing themselves.
They're playing. He's teaching them to play poker.
But there's that scene when he says, when Topher says, "Will you take a check?" And then Brad Pitt just stares at him. That was one of those scenes that was cut from the original one. They added it in, and it doesn't mean a thing to the movie, but it is one of those scenes that just kind of resonates. It's just like, this is what makes this movie so fun, is that they throw these sort of little stupid things in that make the characters resonate a bit, give them more room to be interesting.
I mean, there's so many of those little single scenes that are in there, like you're talking about, like when, and you see this on a lot of like Instagram stories and things like that or whatever, but it's when George Clooney and Brad Pitt are sitting at the bar and Brad Pitt's head is down on the bar. And he's like, do you think we need one more?
Brad Pitt isn't,
one more.
He isn't doing a thing. Yeah, he's just staring.
He doesn't say a word.
He's just passed out.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, that's a great scene.
And Clooney's delivery is epic, just kind of the pause and everything. You totally get it. It resonates. And yet Brad Pitt hasn't said a thing.
There's actually
I was just going to bring that up. That's a good one.
There's another scene I'm watching here that when Carl Reiner's walking through the casino with the briefcase and the two brothers, and they're walking to turn over the briefcase to Terry Benedict to put in the vault. And the guy comes out of there and he starts yelling his name and he's calling him by his name and all that kind of stuff.
Saul!
Who is that guy? Like, is that guy we never know who that guy is, or is it some random guy, or is it supposed to be somebody?
No, it is supposed to be someone from his past, and that's why Saul gets that look. Like, it's literally someone, whoever he says he actually is. And it's I can't remember the guy's name. They gave him a funny name that's kind of supposed to mean something, attached to some other kind of Bucky Buckingham or something like that. But anyways,
But it's just like a speed bump, and he has to deal with it, and he does just by ignoring it, just by like turning and asking another question. Or
it's funny. Someone else brought that up in a podcast. Someone brought it up in a podcast I listened to. They were talking about that's where our main bad guy, starts to kind of question. He's like, oh wait, what's
well, he even says it later. I don't trust you. He even says that in the vault.
Yeah, the next thing.
Which is
He's
fair.
like, that's why you can't accompany him into the vault, right? Exactly.
You mentioned that scene with where he's walking with a briefcase, and I've always noticed his posture change when he inhibits that character and he just starts walking, and you can tell, oh my God, this is a rich billionaire that just knows his place, and the way that Carl Reiner is able to just kind of create that character for that scene was epic, and it really
the
convinces.
Jacket's amazing too.
Yeah, that's true.
The great double-breasted jacket, very the extra long double-breasted coat, and all that.
Well, they show him getting it right.
Every detail, exactly. Getting it.
Well, they're getting fitted for it, which is a very interesting scene because that's one of those ones. I think it's Clooney. It's either Clooney or Brad Pitt.
It's Clooney.
He says, "You sure this up to it?" And that's right, because. He calls him by his first
Daniel.
name.
He calls him Daniel.
Daniel. He goes, "You ever say that to me again, I will." And at that point, you're like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, "Oh shit, this dude's an old school. Like he's a mentor."
He's old. Yeah, old school's great.
Yeah. The person we were talking about earlier with it is Andy Garcia playing Terry Benedict, who is our bad guy in this. Right, he is the casino owner. Yeah, he plays like just you're like, oof, they want you not to like him. So he is a very rough around the edges character as far as like very tight with his attitude and stuff. You're like, he's not likable in the fact that like, if he walked in the room, you're like, ooh, something about him. He's an asshole, So, but it plays off really well.
What's up with him? I remember him from The Untouchables and Godfather 3, and he was epic in those movies. But has he? I'm looking.
I think he did good in this. He's a good actor.
No, I'm just looking at what he's up to lately. I haven't seen him in a while. Expendables.
Well, he's when you're in the Expendables,
your career is on the downslope.
Yeah.
He's still working now. He's got 6 up and coming things, but he's doing a couple projects. Nothing big that I can see. Father of the Bride in 2002.
Oh, the remake.
Yeah. I'm not seeing anything big in the last 10 years.
Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. He was in that. Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not going to call that a big one.
He was in the Ghostbusters remake.
Oh, that was actually good.
Maybe he's like semi-retired. Let's take a good thought.
Wait, no, that's the all-female Ghostbusters, right?
I know, yes.
Yeah, no, that was it. That was crap.
Okay.
I thought you were going to talk about the new. It was.
I agree. I agree, but not because it was female, just because it was crap. Yes.
No, it was just poorly written. It could have been really good. It had none of the actors. It was the way it was written. He was in The Simpsons a couple years ago, so. But
he was great in The Untouchables. I thought he was a highlight of Godfather 3, and in this he was good. He was in all three.
Did you just compliment something about Godfather 3?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Well, a character from
I even like Sofia
this...
Coppola, so but maybe that's because she's directed some great stuff. But,
yeah, she has. She has.
I only saw the movie once when it came out, so maybe that's another trilogy we could watch as an MCU.
Actually, we probably should. As much as I call myself a movie guy, I don't think I've ever seen the full one all the way. First one.
Oh man, it's amazing.
I know. It's one of those. It's like, what? I say that about other movies to people, and then I go, oh, yeah.
It's the only movie that had a sequel that both of them won the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Godfather 2, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
wondered, did this didn't get nominated for anything, did it? As far as like big.
Could have been for cinematography or something. So you were you were talking about, I just remembered a story. I heard a story about George Clooney, who used to live with Richard Kind. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard this story, but he's a prankster from a long, long time ago.
Oh,
But you guys know
I
who
have
Richard,
heard that story.
you guys know who Richard Kind is, right? He's kind of a, look him up. You'll know him. You'll see his face. You'll know who he is. But
Oh yeah. Well, he was in Toy Story, right?
He's the voice of Bing Bong and Inside Out.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
As soon
anyway,
as you see that guy, you know.
Bugs Life.
no, right,
Yeah.
exactly. So anyway,
Bugs Life, maybe that's what I was thinking about, yeah.
he and George Clooney were roommates, and or Richard Kind had a cat, and when Richard Kind would go to work or be out of the house, if the cat went to the bathroom, George Clooney would scoop it out of the litter box and throw it away, and he did this for like weeks at a time. So it looked like the cat was never going to the bathroom. And the litter box, some people keep them in the bathroom, and that's what they did. They keep it in the bathroom. So for like weeks at a time, Richard Kind is like, something's wrong with my cat. Like, it hasn't pooped in weeks, this and that and the other thing. So after like 2 or 3 weeks, George Clooney decides one day that he's going to take a crap in the litter box. So he takes this human-sized crap in the litter box.
Jeez.
Richard Kind comes home and is like freaking out, like losing his mind. And finally, George Clooney loses it and is like, tells him what happened. And he said he was pissed at him for like a very long time for that or whatever. But that's a great joke. That's a long sell, but that is a great joke if you could pull that one off.
That is funny. He has done so much. He does a lot of voice work. He has been in so much. I mean, he works on 15, 16 projects a year.
You're talking about Richard Kind?
Richard Kind, yeah.
Was he when Harry Met Sally, I think?
Probably. I'm on his
when Harry Met Sally.
He was in Only Murders in the Building, but he's got such a recognizable facial kind of countenance. Just the way his mouth kind of speaks. I mean, it's hard.
His voice is very distinctive too.
I'm not. I mean, his voice is too, but I'm just saying that I think visually he looks fun. There's something about him that's just like is very engaging and enigmatic.
Yeah,
You know what? Every time I see him, he reminds me of the husband from Bewitched.
Darren.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
Well, they kind of look the same, but he has that look, and I was like, did he play in the reboot? Was he he was? Oh wait, no, he was in the reboot, but he wasn't Darren. But he would be a perfect Darren in the reboot in Bewitched.
Was he really in that movie and he didn't play? Okay.
He was in Bewitched in the one that was done in 2005 with Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman.
Oh wow.
But yeah, that's just hilarious but every time I see him I'm like, this guy, was he in Bewitched as Darren?
He was in Beau is Afraid.
Everybody was. No, I'm kidding.
Beau is Afraid. Have you seen that, Beau?
Ironically, no, I have not seen it.
That's a wild movie. Worth. I think it's.
I hear it's good. Yeah, I just haven't.
Well, it's an experience. So I don't think Noah would appreciate it. I'll say that.
Nah.
We're not going to be covering it on the podcast.
Back to Ocean's 11.
Okay.
With the twists and turns, if you guys can remember back when you first saw this, did you guys pick up on all of the twists, the turns, the tricks, like?
I did not, but I will say I very rarely try to. Unless I'm watching it with my wife, because she always spits out theories, and so I feel like there's a competitive need to kind of keep up with her. She's really good at like, oh, I bet it's this, or I bet it's that person. But typically I just kind of enjoy, and I don't worry so much about trying to figure out the heist. So I did not. When I watch it now, it's kind of like, oh my God, that's obvious. But I didn't at the time.
I do remember that oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I'm the same way. I love a heist movie, but it does. You kind of have to not think about them too hard. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, all right, I know there's going to be a twist, but there's no point trying to guess what it is. Let's just roll with this.
Yeah.
I find there's enough kind of stupid mysteries out there that bug me enough. Like how what is it? What now you see me? Now you see me? Is
The magician.
Yeah, the magician, which was just to me that was not a mystery that was solvable. It was just kind of a I mean, you can kind of like guess or something like that. Sometimes they make movies that aren't mystery based, aren't like Agatha Christie where you have the clues kind of lined up where you can solve the puzzle. And I think I got annoyed enough with mysteries after a while that it's like I'm not even going to try to solve them because they're going to pull some sort of stupid crap. So I'm just going to enjoy the movie. I back myself out and I don't put myself in with that thinking cap on.
Right. There was the Knives Out series.
Oh, those are good. I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
I'm
are
looking
ones
forward to the new one.
where you only kind of like you're trying to figure it out. But yeah, like you said, the how now you see me or now you don't see me. I don't know. Can't remember what it is.
It's called Now You See Me.
They're not. Now you see me. They're not as clean of how you done it and stuff like that. They're more like, oh, watch us pull these tricks off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like watching a Penn and Teller comedy skit where they kind of make fun of magic in a way where they do the magic, but they also kind of give you a behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're gonna do some AI and show you something beyond what is actually practically tricky. Yeah.
There's a writer I like named Jason Pargin, and he does TikToks that are very entertaining, and he did one a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, he said he doesn't have any patience. He said you have these kind of chaotic villains, and he used the example of the Joker in the Batman movies, and it's like his whole thing is he just wants to watch the world burn, and he's like the reigning prince of chaos and all this stuff. He said, and yet he needs an operation where dozens, if not hundreds of people work with absolute precision to pull off his schemes. And I think that's true of a lot of the heist movies. It's like you're calling for a precision and for everything to go perfectly, and it just doesn't all the time.
That was my biggest problem with this too. Is there was too many things that just happenstance happened. Like he couldn't verify or make sure and plan that he was going to get put in the room with the bruiser to get beat up.
Right.
Like there's no way to guarantee that as part of the plan. So it's kind of like, oh, that's.
I mean, unless they've only got one goon that beats up. I mean, it's. Well,
but the fact that
it's a large casino, but is it a really really a multi-goon operation? I mean, one goon seems to be sufficient.
Who's to say he didn't just have his two big beefy goons, the twin, the double mint hippos, go in there and do it?
Because the reason is because they're part of the movie was trying to fool the audience too. So you had,
for 100%.
Yeah, you had to pull in these kind of characters that we weren't expecting to have a double cross.
But that's why I mean it's there's a little too much like everything, everything's coming up Millhouse form kind of thing.
I absolutely agree with that assessment. At the same time, I love the decisions they made in this movie to kind of like say, fuck it, we're trying to entertain, and that's to me what this movie really does well is
I agree.
It puts entertainment above reality and that's okay. And I mean,
movies don't do that. Come on. No, I agree with you 100%. I think if they didn't do that, it would have been like, what do they call it? disillusion of belief kind of thing where you just have to put your brain away for sometimes.
Suspension of disbelief. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew there was words that made sense.
Suspension of disbelief. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you do have to do that, and yes, it does make a lot of sense. It does make it a lot more fun and stuff. And yes, the all the heist stuff, none of it comes out exactly right. Like it's not the perfect tic-tac-toe. It doesn't work out exactly perfect if you put it to the test.
It's strange. I think it's interesting that we're covering this movie as kind of the MCU crew because we watch MCU movies, and I often look at one of an MCU movie and I say I want to see something more grounded. I want to understand the superhero nature of it, that from kind of a bird's eye, a point of view that's grounded, that not a bird's eye, but something grounded, and then you get kind of tired of that. It's like, well, no, I want something a little bit more fantastical. I just want to have fun. So
yeah,
I think you can have a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
There's certain this is a movie that is more in that realm of the fantastical, like,
yeah.
They almost have superpowers in a way to make all this stuff happen. It works. I like the fact that they actually shot this in the Bellagio. Like they literally, and because they didn't shut down these casinos to do this, and they literally shot it in there. So it's like, man, the amount of stuff that was going on, and like just the people there are like, hey, okay, we're gonna come shoot on this. We'll let you keep playing on your machine. Just don't look up. Okay.
Yeah.
You could be an extra, and I was like, that's so cool.
And it's hard not to notice watching today, though. There was one I watched it last night, and there's one shot. It's a wide shot, and Danny Ocean is in the far right screen, and in the entire left screen it says Trump Tower. It's kind of like,
oh really?
Oh man!
It was just kind of like, oh, interesting, because
they did that on purpose.
Yeah,
that was
in 2000
originally when it was shot.
But in 2001 that had a different.
He was still liked by people.
Yeah, it was a different take. Now it's kind of like, oh yeah, okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, we won't get into that. I mean, Home Alone. People
Home Alone
about the movie.
Yeah,
it's like, oh my god, people, fuck, whatever. But no, this is fun, and I think this is we talked about what to do next on with Bo and Nina, and we were like, well, let's cover some of the fun series, and I threw this one out there as the Ocean series because that was one that I know started off with this one, and it launched 3 more movies because of how much people enjoyed them. So, and like I said, I don't think I've seen 13 and 8. So I'm kind of looking forward to those as being able to see them for the first time, essentially. So, yeah, this was a fun movie. Definitely a rewatchable movie. This is one that you could almost. This is a movie. You're back in the day when we had the availability, you're flipping through channels and this pops up and it's about halfway through. You're like, oh shit, I love this scene. And you keep watching it. It's got that original Star Wars feel to it where like, you can pick it up at any point and just watch the rest of it.
I'm going to throw a plug in for my wife because we've been doing this podcast for 300 plus episodes now. Thank you very much. And last night was one of the few times that she's like, you're watching Ocean's 11, I'm in. And we watched it in the living room on the big screen, and that's not typically what happens. And well, that's, I think I can count on my one hand how many times that's happened for the podcast. So, yeah.
I've gotten a little bit more, but I think it's more like, okay, I'll watch that one.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm just at the scene. One of the great one-liner scenes from this is when what's the Chinese guy's name?
Yen.
When he's getting ready to do the flip onto the top of the thing, and Bernie Mac
overshoots it.
20. He goes $20. He shorts it, and the other guy goes, no bet.
Yeah, that's because he's like, I'm not messing this one up. Yeah,
right.
And then that's the one he almost.
This is a bet I don't want to win.
Yeah, exactly. No, this was good stuff. All right, so yeah, with that, we're getting close to the end of this. We are going to cover next week, right? We got our throwback movie. We're doing a 30-year-old movie next week. for our throwback for September. We're going back to 1995, and we're covering Hackers.
Nice.
I am so excited for this. I know it's not the greatest movie, and people love to laugh at it, but that's why I think it's going to be great, because I remember being so I loved that movie when it came out, and it's not.
I wanted to be a hacker
movie.
after that movie. I wanted to be a hacker after I saw that movie.
I know why too.
That's my job, is to present hackers, so I'll have something to say next week.
It's because you like rollerblading. I understand that. You like to rollerblade.
That's exactly it. Yes. I'm a big rollerblade fan. I don't think I've ever even owned rollerblades, quite frankly.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun. There's some, I'm so excited. I talked to someone today about this movie, just randomly, about Hackers, and we were laughing about it and stuff like that. How they were on the phones in, I can't even, like the phone booths, and I was bringing it up, the fact that I remember my first internet experience was using a handheld unit that you put down on a receiver and stuff. And
yeah,
I was like, oh man, this.
Just like the Matthew Broderick movie, the what's that one?
Yeah, the War Games.
Yeah, War Games, exactly.
Would you like to play a game? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Speaking of that, I've started to quiz kids I know, not kids, but anybody who's under the age of like 16, like, or even under 20. Like, I'll ask them, like, do you know what a Rolodex is? Or we were throwing away we were getting rid of a bunch of electronics. And I made the modem sound, and I'm like, "Do you know what this sound is?" Right? I said, "Do you know what it is?" And she says, "No, it's my niece. She's 19." I go, "Do you know what this is?" And she goes, "No." I go, "Let me make the sound it makes." And I make the sound. She's like, "That doesn't help."
Apparently, you've never had dial-up.
Yes, exactly.
Dial-up? What's that mean?
You've never had to wait an hour to download a song before.
28.8? What's that mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
9.6, I think.
No, yeah, you're right.
Was
You're
9.6.
Yeah.
But I get it. 28.8 was like, oh my gosh, I
know.
28.8. Like, I can download anything.
So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with Hackers next week. It's just one of those movies that, of course, it's not great, but it's great.
I should
at the
probably
same time.
I should probably contact my brother-in-law, who's in. He spent a lot.
Right.
He had a company that was all about internet security, and he's recently written a book that's very in line with Hackers. So yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's great. All right. Well, so join us again next week for that one. Thank you for joining us for this one. Try our cocktails, make your own. Let us know what you think. And after that, it says, terrific. It'll be nice working with some proper villains again.
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesars.
Love you guys.
And stick around till after the music plays out. I'm gonna premiere my 10-year-old song, Vegas Bliss.
Premiere my 10-year-old song.
And introducing Steve.
On my way to Vegas, but I've got no sight to see. Just a lonely, smoky hotel room with too much on TV. And I haven't even got there, but I'm starting to regret all the choices that I'm bound to make, and just soon forget, so soon forget my vice roulette. I think I'm supposed to have some fun, but all I want to do is run from this. My Vegas bliss. What the hell am I doing here? 'Cause I got no place to go. But there's plenty to entice me with, and pretty dice to roll. When the nights don't seem to go nowhere, the days don't quite exist, and my mind is stuck on far away, and the woman that I miss, the girl I miss, all shame, no bliss. I think I'm supposed to have some fun, but all I wanna do is run from this. I think I'm supposed to have some fun and lose my cash and drink a ton, and pass out when the night is done, and wake up when it's time for more of this. My Vegas bliss. My foggy eyes are coming to, but my head won't settle down. I think it's time to pack my things and steer back out of town. But the next time should be better, 'cause I think I might have learned. When I'm on my way to Vegas next, I'll catch the first U-turn or I'll get burned. I may never learn. I think I'm supposed to have some fun, but all I want to do is run from this. I think I'm supposed to have some fun and lose my cash and drink a ton and try to hit on anyone and stay the night 'cause I'm not done. I think I'm supposed to have a blast and hit the strip and kick some ass and end up with a face that's smashed. I'll black out in a lonely dark abyss. My Vegas bliss.